Well, hello, my friends. Something a little bit different today. If you are here, I want you to lock on to this with not just your eyes, but your gut, your spirit, your mind, your heart, all your senses, and find a deck, because your guides have a message for you, and we're going to read that message for all of you. You may lock onto more than one deck, but let's get the messages for you. It's a pick a card, it's a pick a deck. Let's start in the center with the Animal Spirit Oracle by Kim Krantz. It's the camel. And we're not going to do reversals today. We're just going to go straight up. Hi, camel. What do we know about you? We know you are a survivor. You are so tough. So tough, in fact, that people rely on you to get them through the worst of circumstances, don't they? There they are, up there, riding on your back, because you are the sturdy one, no matter how dark, how vast the desert, right? You can handle it. You were evolved for this, they tell themselves and each other. You can handle anything. Until, camel, that one day your seemingly endless reserves run out. Camel, you too need nurturing. You too need someone to care for you, and that's what the best guides taking people through the desert understand about their camels. You take care of your camel takes care of you. It's always mutual care. There's not one person, one beast of burden that we're all entitled to rely on to get us through. So this is your guides reminding you that if you are that person everybody relies on for everything all the time, it may be time for you to lie down. Lie down until you're replenished to the point that you know that you're capable of standing on your own 2 feet again. Okay, and now we're going to go next door to another deck by Kim. This, her first, the Wild Unknown Tarot. And it's another lovely, lovely animal. You, if you locked on to this deck, well, there was a reason for that. You as the High Priestess see, know, feel all without thinking. And when you see, sometimes you see without looking. And when you hear, sometimes you hear without using your ears. Your clair senses, the senses that take in things happening on planes, dimensions other than our own, the quantum level or extra dimensions, or things that we don't even have language for because we're just starting to discover them, right? In the same way that probably the first people trying to talk about atoms felt a little bit nutty. When we talk about the 4th, the 5th, the 7th, the 10th, the 11th dimension, or the quantum realm, we feel a little bit crazy, and the people around us sometimes look at us like we have 2 heads, but we don't. We are wearing these stripes because we walk in 2 worlds, and those eyes see into both of them. And this card, you'll note, is black and white, even the moon, unlike the camel, who had color in the moon, and a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, the camel breaks down. The High Priestess's color comes in the heart. The heart is where the High Priestess lives. The heart and, sometimes the solar plexus, but the High Priestess's connection is to those realms that the moon rules. It's where the tiger, burning bright in the beauty of the night. It's where the High Priestess is most comfortable. So your guides are telling you to keep your eyes closed sometimes when you want to see. Keep your ears covered, and go inside when you're seeking knowledge just as much as you look outside. If you have in previous periods of your life looked outside yourself, asked other people what they think, what would you do? What do you think about the situation? Less of that. You're a High Priestess. Your own counsel is almost always going to be as good as or better than someone else's, because you are operating on those higher, not higher as in superior, just elevated at levels that aren't accessible without ladders to most people. You naturally are up there, where the moon is, where the shooting stars are. That's the message from your guides and guardians. All right, next. I apologize, I am at the moment blanking on the name of this deck, and I will get that for you. Well, for you, I am very happy in this, the year of our collapsing like a flan in a cupboard end of capitalism and stage capitalism. You're the Knight of Coins. You're not only handling and really helping with the throughput and the back and forth and the exchange of money, you're facilitating it. You may be delivering messages, promises, contracts. You may be involved in getting them sent back and forth, signing and generating them yourself. You may be hiring, firing, growing a business. There is a lot of material activity and diplomacy involved here, as well as those are standard meanings of the card. But here in this particular image, I also see inspiration coming in from that sun that we just can't quite see. What we can see is this pyramid. So the light may be coming from a solar energy source at the top of the pyramid or from the sun behind the pyramid, but you are taking that in through your third eye, right through your pineal gland, that pine cone that all of the ancient figures in Sumerian and Babylonian and Hittite are holding. That's the pineal gland, some people speculate. You're taking it in, you may not even know it, and it will be turning into material, first safety, and then safety for your whole circle, and then just abundance that builds and rolls for you and everybody in your life. Well, awesome. I'm just going to leave that. Be open to intuitive messages, flashes of inspiration. Don't think any idea is too crazy, because it's coming from somewhere higher, possibly from other wisdoms that you are connected to that will turn into something very nourishing and very good for you and everybody else in your life right now. Tend to your communication. Write down these ideas. Don't just let them fly in and escape. Tend them. Okay? Good. All right. And another This, I believe, is the Anima Mundi deck, one of my favorites. If you keyed in on this one, my goodness, everybody's getting spectacular messages from their guides and guardians. You are on the move forward. Forward, forward, only, always forward. And with this ram's head and ram's knees and ram launching upward, you've got nowhere to go but sure-footedly climbing. The Chariot is intentional movement. There's generally, in a typical tarot card, there's a driver and two animals that the driver is directing, but in this case, the animal is directing itself, and there is nothing more sure of exactly where it's going, at what rate of speed, than a mountain goat or a ram. If you've ever seen one climbing up what appears to be a sheer rock face, it's one of the most awe-inspiring things you've ever seen. In fact, go find video of that, even if you can just find a 1-minute short. It's one of the most dramatic versions of a chariot card I've ever seen. And so this is speaking to me that you are ascending. You are ascending in some way. Now, I cannot tell you from this card whether the ascension you're experiencing is physical. Maybe you're developing into a different physical phase of your life. Some people reach an age, sometimes in their 30s or 40s, where they drop weight rather than gaining it. It does happen, and become more muscular, and they might suddenly get more energy because of shifts in their hormonal balances. That could be going on for you. Or it could be an emotional skyrocket trajectory. Maybe you have had a realization that has just rocked your world and made you realize that you have a whole mountain ahead of you that you can climb when it comes to getting more in touch with your own feelings and values, and what you express to others, what you don't, how you express your feelings, your ideas to others, how you hold back, how curious you get about other people. Your emotional development might be this trajectory. It could be relational. It could be financial. You might be starting or just explosively growing a business this year. But somewhere in your life, something will be taking off for you. Your guides, your guardians are telling you to watch your life for the areas where growth appears possible, and like a climbing vine, to grab onto those potentials and cling and let yourself wrap around those potentials and climb what might look like a sheer rock face to other people. Wonderful. All right. Those of you who latched onto this deck have been the most ambitious, whether you knew it or not. Let's find out what your card is. It's the Emperor. Of course you're the most ambitious. You want to rule the world. And luckily, you're capable of it. What's interesting to me is that the last two of you have a lot of strong Aries energy going on here. I mean, just because of the depiction here. But also, the Emperor has, he's just Aries. He's he's leaping off into what he must do. He doesn't hesitate. He knows what's necessary, and he's someone who is fair, is capable, highly capable of using and shepherding all of the resources of earth. I mean, that's a bee. I mean, so he's not, you can't crush bees and get honey. You have to be very gentle working with bees. A good emperor knows when to be gentle, right? When to climb, when to build, when to fly. A good emperor knows who to work with, at what, to what extents, in all dimensions. We're back to dimensionality. When to listen, when to make noise, when to be passionate. You're incredibly capable. Keep doing you. And if you were not aware that this is a potential that you have, that this is your highest inner potential in this lifetime, in this dimension, well, your guides, your guardians, they're not going to lie to you. Okay? Take that in. Think about what any or all of these symbols might mean to you. Fly. You're the master. Okay, and now for a complete change of pace, we have the Everyday Witch Tarot. If you're an everyday witch, you're in a Four of Cups. Your guides, your guardians are saying, you can't decide, you're full up. No matter what the spirit is willing to do, the flesh is a bit weak. And no matter what they offer you, nothing is quite right. Sir, would you like a cup? Yes, I would like a cup, but I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. Sir, would you like a hammer? Yes, but I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. Kitty, would you like a fish? I'm trying to decide between this one. This is a paralysis of indecision, as depicted in this particular version of the card. Now, sometimes it's you're impossible to please, but in this one, it's not. It's very clearly, we have multiple keys. Which one is going to open? I don't know. What if I guess wrong? Oh, it's a worried, perplexed. I think what it speaks to me of, honestly, is, I wouldn't call it analysis paralysis. Actually, I hate that term. But I might call it being perfectionist to the point of not even starting. Like, if you need a cup, you're better off with a cup than no cup. So just get a cup. And if it turns out to be the wrong cup a few weeks down the line, bring it back. This person looks like they'd be happy to exchange cups with you. Even if this is wife and husband, or brother and sister. Oh, hello, Cassie. Thank you for gracing us. When Cassie shows up, that usually means the energy has gotten big. Even if the relationship between these folks is personal, this person is eager to please, so they'll be happy to let you swap out. That you're not making a decision for the rest of your life. Make a decision and know that you can change your mind. You can always change your mind. You can always change your mind. There are very, very few things in life that you cannot double back and start down the road. Oh, I wish I could reorient the camera for you. She's trying to be cute for you. Very few decisions you cannot change. So just know that, okay? Everyday Witch deck. All right, two more. This, oh my goodness. The Fool. All things things are possible with you. The opposite of the Emperor. You're not an expert at everything. You're the luckiest person in all things. You're going to fall off this cliff with this crystal in your hand and this wand in the other, and you're going to fall into that, and you're going to end up falling into another dimension where somehow you're going to need both of these on the adventure that you are off on. That's exactly what's going to happen. We all know that about you. You're the main character. The Fool is main character energy. We may not know what's up with you. We may not know where you're going or what this movie is or whether it's a rom-com or a drama. All we know is it's going to be a great story, and it's starring you. The universe has your back. Finally, the one oracle deck in this tray. Oh, what a great way to end. The Turtle Spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. And of course, here you are, the last card. Of course, you're the one who gets Turtle Spirit. You're patient, you're methodical, you locked in on that lower left deck, and you said, you know what, I'm going to be willing to wait for it. Maybe you held down 2 times speed, and I hope you did, honestly. Life's too short not to watch most things on 2 times speed or 1.75. But turtles, tortoises, my gosh, they live such long lives. I was on an artist's retreat in December, and my hosts have an African tortoise who is only about 5-6 years old, and they'll have to make provisions for him to get more guardianship after they have moved along to whatever happens after this life is over, because that tortoise is going to live many decades, and my hosts are already themselves many decades old. So yeah, I mean, a turtle comes into the world that big, but wow, I mean, the amount that it grows, it's a redwood of animals, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope that your messages from your guides and your guardians, especially this one, saying, keep on keeping on. You have been here many times, and you are growing and will continue growing. I think this is a spiritual message for you, Turtle. Whatever the race is, you're only racing against yourself. You are wise beyond millennia. Everybody, until next time.